period of play, and John Koncak misses for the Atlanta team. The Hawks still control the ball. Leading scorers in the game, Wilkins and Whitman, 6 each for Atlanta. Bird, McHale, 8 each for Boston.
Hawks are shooting better than they did the other day. They've made half their shots so far. Boston, however, 11 out of 14 from the field.
In and out for Wilkins. Another offensive rebound for Atlanta. Dennis Johnson blocked that. He's got a 3-on-1. Ainge fills the middle. McHale, foul Wilkins, 2 shots.
Amazing how McHale gets down there ahead of the guards, isn't it? He did it Sunday. He killed the Hawks by beating the Hawks big men down court.
And as you look at that play again, we should point out Tree Rollins in early foul trouble. For those of you on WTBS who just joined us, he had 2 fouls in the first 4 minutes. He's out of the game. During our last timeout, Robert Parrish, for reasons we don't fully understand, went to the dressing room, and Bill Walton has taken his place. We have no idea yet what that is all about. As soon as we do, we'll let you know.
I do know Parrish wasn't limping. Perhaps it was an arm or hand injury.
McHale missed them both. Walton keeps it alive. Those are the first 2 free throws of the night. Dennis Johnson, oh, great pass. Walton fumbled away a layup, then got it.
It's the passing that makes them so effective. Just because the ball goes inside doesn't mean it stays there, and when it goes out, it loosens up the defense.
24-18, Wilkins. Into the lane, threw it away. Walton intercepts, 3-on-2 break. Dennis Johnson fills the middle, takes it himself, won't go. Foul Koncak, I think, battling for the rebound. Wait a minute. Now they're going to call the foul on Dennis Johnson, I think. And a break for the Hawks. Second on Dennis.
Dennis Johnson has played very well defensively here, so he keeps the shot. Off balance, kooky kind of shot, but does a little pushing in the middle of that melee.
He was on Rivers' back, and Koncak was on his back, and they spotted Dennis Johnson. Rivers to the hole, Walton right with it. Hawks suddenly can't get a shot up. Ainge against Wilkins. It's good, and Parrish is back.
The Hawks have had 18 for a while now. Must be 4 minutes or so. They just can't finish off their plays.
22nd timeout called by Atlanta. They're trying not to get blown out early. They started in great fashion here. Had the lead, I believe, at 18-16. If not that, it was at 16-14 before the Boston team began to do it. And how they've done it, for those of you just joined, it has been, first of all, they're shooting a lot of layups. Secondly, their defense has forced numerous Atlanta turnovers.
Yes, and that's what killed Atlanta the other day. Breakdowns, periods of imperfections that the Boston Celtics, who operate on such high standards, take advantage of. In the third quarter the other day, it killed them. It was a 14-0 run by the Celtics. Here we're seeing signs of that kind of thing right now. So the Hawks have to get back to doing what they did at the outset of this game, hit the boards well and complete their stuff. They're turning that ball over now. Rivers with the inbounds pass. Ainge takes in this trip. Dennis Johnson with the 2 fouls stays in there. Rivers with 8 on the shot clock. Randy Whitman, 18-footer, yes. He has 8 and leads the Atlanta team. But the Hawks are down by 6 with 2:56 left in the first quarter. Mike Fratello coaches Atlanta. K.C. Jones, the coach of the Boston team. Ainge crosses the line. Away from the ball, a whistle and a foul against Atlanta this time. Kevin Willis picks up his first. McHale, what a pass. Layup after layup after layup. Walton has 4. 28-20. Whitman against Dennis Johnson. Rivers penetrates and jams at home. Athlete on display. Boy, does he have abilities. 2:20 left in the quarter. It's a 6-point Boston game. You know, he's frustrated too from his Sunday performance, which was subpar. Another layup. Bird got it for Dennis Johnson. 30-22. Willis knocked away by Ainge. I think he fouled. We'll wait and see. Certainly looked like a clean deflection. His first third team foul.
There's the story right there about the layups and the easy baskets inside. Boy, that's tough to win when you're giving up that many.
That's the pattern of Sunday's game as well, where Kevin McHale was the main offender. Actually, the Celtics starting lineup didn't have anyone score under 16 points Sunday.
Willis makes one of the two. McHale the rebound. We enter the 2-minute period. Walton can't buy another layup attempt. No whistle, and Rivers heads the other way. Koncak passed up the baseline jump. Whitman won't pass it up. He drills it again. He's keeping Atlanta in the game. He's got 10 points, leads all scorers. 30-25.
Really looking for his shots, and he's willing to take them.
Another layup.
That's a minor league breakdown by the Atlanta Hawks defensively. I mean, 2 passes shouldn't find an open man under the hoop.
Dominique left it short, forced that shot a little bit. He gets another chance. Fouled from behind by Bird, I believe. Walton was there, so was Ames.
You know, Skip, I think what we're seeing is exploitation of a team, not physically, but mentally. I think the Hawks' big men, particularly Kevin Willis, is just not reacting quick enough mentally to the ball movement of the Celtics. I mean, this guy is a big, strong, willing, I mean, limitless physical stuff he has, and it's all good, but he's not reacting quick enough.
Well, in fairness, a lot of guys haven't reacted quickly enough against these guys.
Too many big openings, though, underneath.
1:18 left, 32-27 Boston, quarter number 1. McHale against the double T. Cross court finds Dennis Johnson, knocked away by Doc Rivers. It went off Johnson, out of bounds, and belongs to Atlanta. Good play by Doc Rivers once more. Atlanta can move back to within 3. They are playing much better than they did on Sunday. But Boston's not playing too badly either. Look at the anticipation by Larry Bird.
Well, that's a rare sight, a Larry Bird stuff.
Defense, boy, and another layup. It's 24 points on inside stuff for Boston.
Mike Fratello has to hope Whitman learned a lesson on that.
Willis. It won't go for him. Wait a minute. They might call goaltending. Yes. Earl Strom called goaltending. Willis gets the hoop. It's on Bill Walton. Right there.
Ball was in the cylinder.
Dennis Johnson with 33 seconds left in the first quarter. Bird, great fake. Oh, what a shot. He's got 12. Atlanta can play for the final shot. The Hawks trail by 7. They'll actually have to shoot it with 3 seconds left in the quarter.
Skip, that fake was great, but the shot was greater.
He is something. 8 on the shot clock. That's the time we'll give you here. 5, 4. That's good if it goes. It goes by Rivers. 3, 2. That's good if it goes by Ames. Boy, he didn't miss by much. The quarter is over. Tell you what, Atlanta played about as well as they can play, but so did Boston. It's anybody's game now at the end of 1 period in a sold-out Boston Garden. The Celtics 36. Atlanta 31.
Giving Larry Bird special attention here. Bird sensing the momentary lapse by Dominique Wilkins and picking up Dennis Johnson, and he delivers that ball successfully. McHale passing the ball more this year than ever, and it moves around the perimeter, and there's Bill Walton all alone. The key to good offense certainly is passing and team awareness and spacing. You see how the Celtics never get clustered together. They keep their distance between each other. Makes the defense spread out.
Those of you on TBS who joined us after baseball, the officials for this game are Earl Strom and Bill Oakes. Dick Bavetta is the alternate. And tomorrow night, after Braves baseball, Dallas and the Lakers will come your way with Rick Barry and Bill Russell. And Bob Neal and Red Auerbach on Thursday. We'll have Philadelphia at Milwaukee. Jerry Seasting checks into the game for Boston. So does Scott Wedman. And Wilkins will bring it up the floor. It's a 5-point Boston advantage. Rivers against Seasting.
Dominique now guarded by Wedman.
Bird knocked that away, but Rivers comes up with a 6 on the shot clock. He got it away in time. Rivers made a great move, kept it alive. Oh, boy. Willis missed that. Foul is called on Ainge, his second. Atlanta, I tell you what's keeping them in the game, and they are very much in it, is they're missing a lot of shots, but they're pounding that offensive board.
They are a superior team on the offensive boards to the Boston Celtics, and the great size they're putting in now is working and paying off. Koncak had a very unimpressive first quarter. He's very hard to come out and impress the Boston Celtics, but he's got a big role out here. He's an important man. Boy, he looks thin, Skip. He looks like he's really lost some weight this season.
He has. Cliff Livingston in the game for the Atlanta team. Willis gets the rest.
Hawks have 8 offensive rebounds to 2 for the Celtics thus far.
Koncak missed them both. Seasting to the front court. What an addition he has been. Robert Parrish is back on the bench, but has not returned to the game. We still don't know what, if anything, is ailing him. Seasting rimmed it, wouldn't go, but there's Scotty Wedman. And the Celtics will start over again. Danny Ainge has the ball.
Well,
Wedman drilled it.
You know what I reacted to was Wedman getting all that room. Willis, like, dared him to shoot. He's one of the game's great outside shooters.
Spud Webb about to enter the Atlanta scheme of things as Whitman left it short. Battled for the rebound, but Wedman's going to come out of there with it. Whoa, Willis knocked it away, but had the foul to do it. His second. So Rollins, Willis, Dennis Johnson, Danny Ainge all settled with 2 fouls.
The waste foul by Willis here. Good idea, confidence in his ability, but the man is 7 feet tall, and that's a low percentage game.
I think I said Willis was out of the game. Obviously, he's not. Dominique Wilkins is for Atlanta. Bird on the wing. Thinks about it. Now does it. He's something.
I don't know what Livingston could have done better. He didn't buy any of Larry Bird's fakes.
40-31, Boston by 9. Long way to go. 10:25 first quarter. Livingston banked it up and in. So the former Detroit forward makes his presence felt.
Let's see if Spud Webb can have an effect on the game for the Hawks.
He's playing Jerry Seasting, who is not, of course, a post-up player, but he is a jump shooter, if you see what I mean.
Boy, if you get open and you're a Celtics player, you get the ball.
That's what makes him a great team. Willis, they look to him now. Over Bird. Nope.
See Bird challenge him? No, Bird didn't give him that shot.
Deflected, out of bounds, belongs to Boston. Tree Rollins returns to the game. Koncak out. And now Willis goes out of the game, and Dominique Wilkins had a very short rest for the Atlanta team.
That's all he needs. Just get his breath.
Wedman, they dare him again. And that time got away with it. Here comes Spud Webb. Watch him try to force it up the floor. The Neek. Sort of a wild shot, but Livingston, another offensive rebound for Atlanta. That's keeping them alive here. That's the man they want shooting the open jump, and it goes for Whitman, a fortuitous bounce. He's got 12. Ainge for 3, didn't get any, and Rollins clears the glass, and here comes Webb. Sort of the long and short of it here. Whitman, a great pass. Livingston shoots his jumper, and a foul. So Atlanta's bench helps them out. Second hoop for Livingston.
So interesting. Seasting, the man you're looking at, took a rush jump shot. First time you see the Celtics do that in this game. And in a way, they paid for it, because all of a sudden it enabled the Hawks to push the ball up and get their offense going before the defense could get set.
Ainge and Bird out of the game for Boston. McHale returns. Dennis Johnson returns. Johnny Davis in the game for Atlanta. Livingston misses a free throw. It's a 5-point Boston lead. They can't blow Atlanta away. for Walton against the smaller man. Finds McHale in the lane with a little hook. That won't go. Livingston the rebound. Johnny Davis with the outlet pass. Has Wilkins with him. Gets him the ball. Good job by Wedman. He forced him to step on the line.
He challenged Wilkins with the ball. He didn't wait for Dominique to do something. Kept challenging him.
I think he was saying, if I foul you, I foul you, but I'm not going to let you go baseline and dunk the ball.
You got it.
And it paid off for Boston. 8:25 left in the half. Wedman against Wilkins. Walton against Livingston. Can't get a shot up. Throws it away. Good job by Atlanta. Livingston. That's knocked loose by McHale. Seaston back to McHale. Wedman all alone.
Opportunistic. That's the Celtics.
And relentless. That's a word Mike Fratello uses. And that's what he wants from his Hawks. Foul on Bill Walton holding Rollins.
Walton succeeded in one sense. He beat Rollins to position. But he used his arms. Boy, how quickly Seaston got rid of that ball.
Well, whatever Robert Parrish departed the floor for earlier, it wasn't serious. He's back. Anthony Spud Webb out of Dallas, Texas. What a story he is. And he's no joke, boy. He can play.
Woo!
You know what I mean?
You were saying?
Thanks, Spud.
Talk about on cue.
44-39 the score. What amazes me about Spud Webb, and I know people have heard a lot about him, what kind of courage to even try at his size. Forget making it, just to try is, to me, amazing. Wedman kept that alive over the back of Rollins.
He rang up some big numbers, too, in that Detroit series, Spud Webb did.
Dominique. Tell you what, he's not really into it yet, and Atlanta's still very close. They're down by 5. That might be a good omen for Atlanta fans.
And I don't feel it's a matter of him being stopped. It's a matter of how that ball's moving on the Atlanta offense.
McHale with an impossible move.
Except that he's doing it 1 out of 2 times now. Somebody better wake up.
Look at Webb. That won't count. There was a foul on Wedman.
Think Dominique's a little frustrated?
I think so. Timeout called by Boston here. Wedman fouled Spud Webb as he tried to drive to the hoop. We've got 6:45 left in the first half. Boston by 7.
This is Kevin Christopher with you at our studios in Atlanta with an update of the early returns on our NBA Rookie of the Year phone poll. Surprisingly, maybe to a few of you, Spud Webb stretching it out 758 votes. He's the current leader. Now here are the phone numbers where you can call in and vote for the player of your choice. Patrick Ewing, Xavier McDaniel, Karl Malone, Spud Webb, or anybody else you like. Now let's go back to Boston Garden. Here's Skip and John.
Spud Webb at the line 4-2. At the conclusion of the game, we'll select the light beer most valuable player of the game in conjunction with the award. Turner Broadcasting and Miller Lite will present a check for $500 to the National Multiple Sclerosis Foundation in that player's name.
When you get isolated and Spud Webb is the man you're guarding, you can be in big trouble, and that's what the Celtics just found out a moment ago.
He made both free throws, and it's a 5-point Boston lead once more as Dennis Johnson crosses the line against the veteran Johnny Davis. Dennis Johnson posts up against Davis and shoots his jumper.
So tough. He's falling away when he's shooting that.
Webb forces it up the floor as he is wont to do. Wilkins. Great move. Oh. But he can't buy it. Parrish the rebound. Boy, he's got to be frustrated. Foul on Livingston. He doesn't think so, as you can see.
McHale is so good at getting position. That's the beginning of the trouble he causes.
Larry Bird in. Wedman will go out. Doc Rivers into the game. Spud Webb out for Atlanta. 6:03 remaining in the first half. At halftime, Kevin Christopher will visit with Cotton Fitzsimmons and bring you up to date on the other sports news of the day. Parrish McHale. It won't go for him, and Rivers the next rebound. Atlanta wants to run at all times. Good pass. Livingston the hoop.
Not an easy move by Cliff Livingston.
48-43 Boston. 5:35 left. Seasting. For whatever reason, Boston, that's a foul. Oh, no. Going to give the ball to Boston. Rollins wound up on the deck.
Big effort by him.
Suddenly, Boston has gone to a jump shooting team. The great passing of the first quarter is no longer evident. Maybe that's why Danny Ainge is coming back into the game right now.
Casey Jones doing a lot of shuffling.
5:25 left in the half. Bird, that's a two-point attempt. He didn't get any, but Parrish has the rebound. That won't go. Parrish can't get it going. Rollins clears the glass.
That opens the door for the Hawks when Boston starts missing a little bit.
Traveling is called on Randy Whitman.
And that kills the Hawks when they turn that ball over.
Bird with the front court pass right away to McHale down low. Danny Ainge all by himself.
When you get that ball and you have about a second or even a 3/4 of a second to line your shot up, get your feet set, it means so much.
And in this pro game, you'll knock them down. Those kind of shots around 70%. Wilkins, Parrish blocked that. No goaltending, though Atlanta wanted it. What a pass by Bird. And he gets the hoop. No, he doesn't at the other end. He'll shoot two. Or was it Bird? Somebody made a great pass. It was either he or Ainge. Must have been Ainge. Even Larry couldn't have gotten down there that quick.
Well, we'll get a good look now. Dominique with a spectacular one-on-one move. So he beats three guys. He didn't get by Parrish, though. And there's Ainge. Dennis Johnson. Bird takes a good shot here and just doesn't get the roll. Boy, Skip, when we walked in here tonight, I thought it was a very poignant scene with Larry Bird out here with the ball boy just shooting his long jumpers in his sweatsuit. Out here banging away. Here's Dennis Johnson giving that ball up again to Larry Bird, who takes a good shot, and that's why he didn't make it. But Bird had about 19 in a row when we walked in, and the workers here are counting them out loud. They said, get out of the way, and he hits 25, and he misses, and they all start.
All the ushers booed him. That's a tough time.
That was great.
52-43 Boston. Dominique. And a two-shot opportunity. Now, he's got to really be careful here. He's a terrific player. But if he starts trying to do it all by himself, he'll hurt himself and his team. But all great players have that habit.
Team has to shoot their foul shots better. They have not been doing that lately.
Dominique has 10. Those are his first points of the quarter. 4:10 remaining. It's 52-45 Boston. Bird from 19.
What the heck? It's his 920th jump shot of the day. He's starting to get the feel.
He has 18 points. It's a 9-point game with 3:50 remaining in the half. Rollins, it's deflected away, but Rivers with 3 on the shot clock. It won't go, but he did keep it alive. It's out of bounds, and they'll give it to Boston.
The Hawks
Rollins touched it last.
Are really hurting in that they offer nothing offensively in their front line now. Their front line is being shut out.
Dennis Johnson slows the tempo for one of the few times tonight. Tonight marks the 264th consecutive sellout here as Robert Parrish has his first points of the night. That's not a good omen for Atlanta. Biggest lead for Boston, I believe, 11 points. Timeout called by Atlanta with 3:10 left in the half. We'll be back right after this.
Number 5, Bill Walton is back into the Celtics lineup, replacing Robert Parrish.
We're back to play, and Doc Rivers handles the inbounds pass with 3 minutes left. Tree Rollins looks to his offense. His little jump hook is short. They battle for the rebound, and McHale is out of there with it. Bird with Walton. Knocked away by Dominique Wilkins. Good defensive play. Doc Rivers heads the other way. Spins into the lane. Got it.
Boy. He saw the opportunity, and he went for it.
56-47 with 2:35 at halftime. Kevin Christopher will be joined by a man probably in a booster chair, Cotton Fitzsimmons. We'll analyze the first half of the game for you. Walton, that'll be an offensive foul. It is against Walton. Rollins did a good job.
Did not appear that Rollins had his position, but Walton's move was so emphatic. Let's see. He sure did have his position. Boy, he got there fast.
And Doc Rivers heads the other way, and it looked like Boston again had a chance to blow it open, but now Atlanta has a chance to get right back into it. Bird knocked that loose, but Rivers got it right back. Great pass. Rollins. His first point.
Everything changes when the Hawks get something done under the basket, as they have the last couple of times.
We enter the 2-minute period. It's 56-49 Boston. Illegal defense, I believe, against Atlanta.
Earl Strom giving a lesson. Tree Rollins saying, Tree, you have to be out here, not under there.
And as they argue, the inbounds is to McHale. He thought about it, didn't do it. Ainge is open. No. Now Atlanta can move to within 5.
Missed that because he had a hand in the face. Never fails.
1:45 left. Wilkins threw up a prayer and had it answered.
That shot hit the backboard above the box.
Atlanta within 5. That might get him going. 6 straight Atlanta points. Ainge, that's for 3. He got him. That's stolen by McHale. It's 1-on-2. Dennis Johnson very wisely slows it down. Bird, how did he get so open?
Timing. Perfect timing by Bird. Oh, I'd love to see that one again. His timing is so impeccable.
1 minute left. It's a 10-point Boston game. Dominique. Not this time. And look at Tree Rollins' battle. Knocked away from him. Out of bounds. Belongs to Boston. There's the story. A 15-point margin. Make it 17. McHale gets another layup.
Willis and Rollins right there, and it happened in front of them.
It's a 12-point game.
That's the mental part of basketball that they're lacking.
32 seconds left in the half. 10 on the shot clock. Randy Whitman hangs in the air. It won't go. They battled for the rebound. Fouled Atlanta. Rollins flirted with a technical. He almost banged that ball to the deck, but very wisely did not. His 3rd foul, by the way. Milwaukee by 5 in the second quarter of that game, and Houston winning big over Denver. Houston leads that series 1-0, not the way we ended up there for you. They'll play for the final shot. 10 seconds left.
Yes, Hakeem Olajuwon put his stamp on that first game.
Yeah, with 38 up. Larry Bird is hit as he misses. He'll shoot 2. With 5 seconds left in the half.
Skip, I bet if you went over to Larry Bird and said, Larry, what kind of half do you think you've had? He'd probably say, I stunk.
Fair. Yeah.
He's just not hitting his normal devastating outside shot as effectively as usual.
Do you know that he's shooting for his 21st and 22nd points of the half right now?
Is he really?
Yeah. That's the mark of a great player.
You know he's not the high scorer for the Celtics in the playoffs thus far in 4 games?
Who is?
McHale.
McHale, that's right, yeah.
And rebounded, too, I might add.
22 for Bird. 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Knocked away. Wilkins can't get a shot away, and the half is over. And at halftime, the Celtics have their biggest lead of the night. It's a 14-point advantage. Stay tuned for Kevin Christopher and our old pal Cotton Fitzsimmons at halftime. nice to hear from you. 65-51 is our score at halftime. Boston is on top. What do you think? Is Atlanta dead, or can they bounce back like Cotton thinks they can?
They're dead unless they change things. They're shooting in the 40s again, 46%, but Boston is at 61%. Bird and McHale are 15 out of 19 from the field, and believe it or not, Dominique Wilkins, as he did the other day in over 30 minutes of action, is 4 out of 15. Same numbers in the first half as he did for the whole game the other day. So something has to improve from the offensive end, and the big men on the Hawks have got to contribute more. Just more has to come from those tall people.
One thing about it, Dominique Wilkins has had 2 bad games in a row, and that's very unlike him. And as Cotton pointed out, he can explode at any time. So this thing isn't over yet, though. Boston up by 14 at home before another sellout. You've got to sort of like their chances. We'll be back with the play-by-play story of quarter number 3 right after these important words from your sponsor. The halftime statistics. All the Atlanta Hawks want to say hi to Travis Williams of Carrollton, Georgia, who's in the Shepherd Spinal Center back in Atlanta looking in, and our thoughts are with him. Get well fast, Travis. There are the stats.
Well, the assists obviously favor the Boston Celtics. They're really dominant in that area. That and the field goal percentage shooting. The Celtics are shooting far above their norm of 50%. And as you can see, Dominique got his points, as did Whitman, who shot the ball pretty well in the first half. He had 6 out of 9, but the effectiveness level has to increase by the Hawks, and they have to do some stopping themselves of the Celtics.
Well, Atlanta has a chance to score first here in quarter number 3. Dominique gives it up. Randy Whitman gives it up. Kevin Willis shoots it. And Kevin McHale has the rebound. I read in the paper today where our buddy Stan Kasten has been named president of the Atlanta Hawks, or is about to be named president. We congratulate him. Parrish blocked away beautifully by Willis. And Danny Ainge stole it from Wilkins.
Ainge, sensing that the Hawks want to run so bad, just lay back there and pick that one off.
That makes it a 16-point game. Game 3 of this series is in Atlanta on Friday night. Rivers from 10. That won't go. Good hustle by Willis keeps it alive. And Atlanta starts over. Willis with a little running hook shot. Nicely done.
Gorgeous move.
Another snap heavily favoring Boston. It winds up right in Parrish's lap, and now they're going to take it away. I think they're going to take away. The ball bounced off the head of Bill Oakes, the official, I think.
Yes, he clearly said that. It hit my head, and I'm out of bounds.
So the ball goes to Atlanta, and X-rays revealed nothing. Just kidding, Bill. Atlanta gets it back.
Oh, I caught Danny Ainge smiling on the court.
That doesn't happen often. Boy, he and Tree Rollins had a dandy brawl a few years ago in a playoff game.
Tree's doing all he can to have everybody forget that, although the Boston papers made a big story out of it again today.
Randy Whitman in the lane walks, and he did. He shuffled the feet, and the ball goes back to Boston. And they rush it up the floor. McHale right back to Dennis Johnson. Unmolested jump shot. Rivers with a left hand. Beautifully done.
What a talent.
Atlanta's got to stop him at the other end. Atlanta in the last few years have really drafted well. They got Wilkins in a deal with Utah. But guys like Willis, who was a gamble, and Rivers, some people did not rate too highly. Parrish, he's fouled by Whitman. He shoots 2.
What was Willis thinking when Parrish ran by him? Just gave him a little massage.
I don't know.
And then he ran right by him. Now, Willis has got the big man, 0-0, and then he just lets him go. Why, Kevin?
Easy, John, easy. Parrish shoots 2.
Kevin Willis is such a good athlete that he has to overcome this talent somehow and realize that it can't all be done with his hands and his foot speed. Got to move that body around.
Parrish missed them both, and Rivers heads up the floor. 9:40 left, third quarter. Dominique. It's just not happening for him.
Not happening because that big hand of McHale was in his face.
Ainge to the front court. McHale. And no foul. He gets the hoop. 14 for McHale. 71-55. Good pass. Whitman. Willis gets the hoop. And almost pulled the basket down.
It's that frustration of being alone for that split second.
Good anticipation by Wilkins. That was intended for Bird. He sails by Dennis Johnson, finds Randy Whitman.
Well, the impressive part of that play, of course, is Dominique Wilkins getting the ball and handling it, delivering it so well.
71-59. It was a 16-point game. It's now 12. It's still 12. Whitman the rebound. McHale missed that badly. Tough break for Willis. McHale another rebound. Here they come again. 3-on-3. Dennis Johnson. 73-59 with 8:10. Willis again in a foul. Now Ainge really got confused there. He raised his hand out of habit from his college days because he knew he did it, and he argued anyway. Willis will go to the line to shoot two.
Good boy, bad boy all at once. Dennis Johnson once again so effective tonight. When his outside shot is hitting, he's just a monster. He was 4 out of 7 in the first half, as was Ainge.
Willis puts them both away. He has 13. He's going to be some player in this league.
Got all the gifts.
And he's really worked hard as a power forward. McHale and Rollins bang away at one another. Bird with a left hand. We haven't seen that in a while. Parrish. He'll shoot two as he misses.
No matter how tall you are, and this man is 7 feet tall, if your position isn't right, you will lose.
Willis third foul. Parrish shoots two. He missed two at the line moments ago. He has only 2 points on the night. So does the man he plays, Tree Rollins. John Koncak has failed to score, so out of the center position, Atlanta has not gotten much help. Parrish 0 for 3 from the line.
Rollins only had 2 in the first half, so Rollins, Willis, and Koncak combined for 9 points in the first half.
Parrish finally puts one away. 74-61 is our score with 7:45 left, third quarter. John Andres, Skip Carey with you from the Boston Garden. Whitman is loose on the baseline. Now Bird on a switch jumps out to play it. Willis again, good again. Boy, they're going to him with good results. He has an 8-point quarter and 15 in the game. Despite
the mismatch, which Willis was able to take advantage of, he still had to beat 3 sets of hands by the Celtics. That's how quickly they react to each other.
Willis and McHale, it's a real war in there, and McHale wins that battle. He has 16. Rivers turned it over.
McHale and Willis doing it to each other, and McHale will get this pass perfectly. Notice how it'll go right to that left hand because he's made it a target.
And this is a non-contact sport, they tell us. Dennis Johnson to the front court. Bird. No. Rollins high for the rebound. Wilkins beat Bird. Oh, what a play by Dennis Johnson. A timeout will be called here by the Boston Celtics. We have 6:51 remaining in the third quarter. Atlanta will have the ball on the end line when play resumes with timeout on the floor. Boston has a 13-point lead. Been rolling right along against Denver as they try to go up 2-0. And Milwaukee has Philadelphia by 12 in the third period of their game. Here it's a 13-point advantage. 76-63 for Boston. Atlanta last led at I think it was 18-16 or 16-14, something like that. Mike Fratello is almost certainly going to be coach of the year in the NBA because his team has improved so much. You can make an argument for Pat Riley or Casey Jones. They keep grinding out those 60-win seasons. That's not too bad either.
Well, the Hawks won 50 this year and 34 the year before, so that's improvement.
If Dominique can't buy his jump shot, Atlanta's chances are radically diminished, and so far he's been unable to. He was 4 out of 15 in the first half. He hasn't scratched yet in the third quarter. McHale wheels, deals, drew the foul, scored the goal.
You know, Skip, I was thinking before the game about Kevin McHale, who everybody acknowledges is a monster in the NBA, but you know, you never hear the adjective superstar applied to him. I think it's about time.
Oh, I did too.
He plays. You don't hear that, though. I mean, I think Kevin McHale has earned the superstar status. I mean, he is just so consistent, and he does it in many ways. And this year, he really got recognized for his defensive talents. So, from this point on, Kevin McHale's a superstar.
I'm with you, baby. 79-63 the score. Doc Rivers. Two-shot foul. Bill Walton got it. Rivers goes to the line. 4-2. Only the second Boston team foul.
Rivers playing much more effectively than he did in Sunday's game. Once again, we're reminded what a team game this is, though.
He's had his troubles throughout the playoffs offensively, Doc had.
He was 2 out of 11 Sunday in the field.
Boston with a hoop here can build its biggest lead of the night, which would be 17 points. Bird has not scratched in this third quarter. He works on Wilkins. He still hasn't scored. Fumbled away. Dennis Johnson had it, but Rollins gets it back. 5:45 left in the third quarter. Atlanta can move to within 13 if they can convert. They've been going to Willis throughout the period. It won't go. It kicks out. Dennis Johnson is off to the races. What a pass. McHale. They just keep coming at you. Timeout, Atlanta. And the Hawks have their biggest deficit of the night to come back from. 5:27 left in the third quarter. Boston leads at 81-64. Well, that pretty well tells the story in this second half. Atlanta's fast break has not clicked. Dominique Wilkins is still without a pointer in this half, and I'm not knocking him, but he's the guy that's got to get it done for Atlanta, and he hasn't gotten it done. Scott Hastings makes his first appearance of the night for Atlanta. He's out of Arkansas. Doc Rivers brings it up. Wilkins posts up. They got to get him going. Rivers blocked by Walton, out of bounds. Atlanta inbounds on the end line.
There was such a quick team reaction to when Wilkins got the ball. It was incredible by the Celtics. I mean, bullet quick. He had 3 men on him.
He'll trigger it in to Randy Whitman. 8 on the shot clock. Dominique's going to go to work here. There's his first hoop for the third quarter.
Because he had 1 man to beat. And it's interesting the difference when that happens.
81-66. Less than 5 minutes left. Third quarter. Rick Barry, Bill Russell will bring you Dallas at Los Angeles tomorrow night. Bill Walton breaks away, puts it off the glass.
See how he didn't feel he had to stuff the ball? He shot the basketball off the backboards properly.
Willis score it and a foul. Willis with 17, 10 in the quarter. It's on Bird. Willis seeks his 18th point. And he has it.
That's what he had in a complete game the other day.
Here come the Celtics. 4:38 left. They have a big lead. 83-69. Haynes breaks away. Another layup. Well,
What a great head fake, though.
Bird still left. It's on the deck. Big scramble. Bird out of there. Well, look at that.
Oh, man.
That's the Boston Celtics, folks.
And look, he's helping up Rivers.
Mike Fratello wants a 20-second time. That's the other thing that Bird did with that play. He got the crowd back in the game. They should have been sitting back watching the game. Now all of a sudden they're back into it, and Fratello wisely called timeout. But we mentioned that against Chicago. That is the Celtics.
Here's the play of the game. Dominique Wilkins fighting Larry Bird. Bird, how does he find a way out of here with his left hand? And he helps his opponent up. Wow.
And they know their basketball here, and they're cheering Larry Bird for his defense.
What a thrilling thing to witness.
There are a lot of superstars who would not bother to get their pants dirty like that. But that's why he's truly a great one. 87-69. That's the biggest margin of the night. Spud Webb back in there for Atlanta. Dennis Johnson with his steal. Ainge and Scott Hastings are in a fight at the other end as Dennis Johnson gets the basket.
Technical foul.
I think maybe Danny Ainge has been kicked out of the game, and he has. Ainge has gotten 2 technicals and an ejection here, and that might change things around a little bit. Well, Scott Hastings came in the game, and Danny Ainge went out. It's a 20-point game now. Check the left side of your picture.
Well, it looked like Hastings responded to that back massage he was getting from Danny Ainge. And Dennis Johnson and Larry Bird worked out a beautiful 2-on-1 with Dennis Johnson getting a lovely return pass from Bird for the 2 points.
Now I think they're going to take the basket away from Boston, perhaps.
Dennis Johnson does not count. There was a technical foul called on.
They say the technical was called before the basket, but it wasn't. That's a big break for Atlanta.
Skip, I believe they said an intentional foul, too.
Well, now Boston gets the ball back.
Bird's left knee bleeding.
That's from that great play he made on the deck moments ago. Well, there was only 1 technical against Ainge, but an ejection, but I think that's what Mike Fratello is asking about. What's going on there? Confusion reigns supreme now. Fratello wants some time put back on the clock, I think. There's Larry Bird. And now time is called again, and the officials again go to the scorers table, and I can only guess that they want some time put back on the clock, and they have to, because if the technical was called before Ainge made the basket, which I don't think it was, but that's what they ruled, then they've got to give Atlanta some time back on the clock. And now Boston will bring it up. And Jerry Seasting is in the game for Danny Ainge, who we will see no more tonight. It's a 17-point game. Larry Bird against Wilkins. Fakes. Missed it. McHale with a rebound, but another whistle. That won't count either. Foul is called, I think, against McHale. And now Hastings and Dennis Johnson are about to get into it. And Atlanta brings it up. Let's see if they've had a break here. Let's see if they can cash it in. An illegal defense is called against the Boston team. And right now, the officials made it almost impossible for either team to play.
That was called on Bill Walton.
It's another technical.
Bill Walton, who we can't see in this picture. Oh, there he is, number 5. He was double teaming, but he was caught in the middle. He wasn't with either man. He was just guarding a position on the floor, not a man.
Wilkins missed the tee. Atlanta gets the ball back. Still a 17-point Celtic game. Wilkins has to get hot. Spud Webb shoots his jumper.
He can get hot too, I guess, Skip, huh?
Well, his jumper is what he has been working on, and I bet will work on all summer because people are playing off him now. That'll be on. I think they finally call one on Hastings here.
You know, it's interesting how difficult it is to get around Kevin McHale, who's not that bulky, but he holds his position so effectively.
He goes to work on Hastings. That's blocked by Willis. Seasting with the ball.
Bill Walton is trying to he's trying to get involved in some physical action, and he keeps falling down.
That might not be a bad idea. Hastings a good jump shooter, and he puts it down.
He hit the floor at the Celtics end, and I thought he was going to get up and go after someone, and then he tripped again.
Dennis Johnson up the floor. Boy, it's really rough out there now. Wilkins almost stole it from Bird. Foul on Willis. That was not a good foul at all. And that is his fourth. Cliff Livingston will come in the game, and Willis will go out. Scott Wedman will come in the game. And McHale will come out of the game. So they'll go with a smaller front line with Bird and Wedman and Walton.
Well, that's exactly what the Hawks have out there with Hastings as their big man right now. So Casey Jones immediately responds to that lineup by giving his big guys a rest.
2:38 left, third quarter.
What he's saying out loud is, my smaller men are more effective than your smaller men.
Off the bench, it's 17-14 Boston. Walton with a unique free throw shooting style. He drops them both. 17-point game, 91-74. Webb against Seasting. Looked like a couple of subcompacts out there. Score the goal, and another foul against Boston. Boy, this game, I think, is getting out of control a little bit.
Very, very physical. However, the Hawks, from my observations this year, Skip, play that way. They're very strong. Has a nice pick for Randy Whitman. That's using your jump shooter well. Hastings did that.
Second foul on Bird.
It's a little difficult to execute by Whitman, too, because he was going away from his natural right-handed shooting motion there as he came around in from the left side.
Tell you this about Scott Hastings. A lot of things have happened, and they've all been good for Atlanta since he came in the game. Boston brings it up, 91-76 to score. Dennis Johnson against Randy Whitman. Walton wants it against Wilkins. Spud Webb doubles. Left-handed hook won't go. Dominique out of the pack for Atlanta. It's 4-on-3. Oh, he almost walked. Hastings again. He gets the hoop. Well, he is playing big for Atlanta.
Super tough move.
13-point game now. Dennis Johnson against Randy Whitman. And the foul, I think, on Whitman reaching it. It is.
Foul was on number 10, Randy Whitman, in his second.
Second on Randy. Robert Parrish checks back into the lineup. Let's see if whether it'll be Walton who goes out. The Atlanta big men have improved this year, and their coach Mike Fratello gives a lot of that credit to big Willis Reed, who's now an Atlanta assistant. And you know what a great player he was. I know you do, John, with the Knicks for many years.
Yes, he was an inspiration, and his legacy still lives on in New York. Skip, as Bill Walton just left the game, the fans really reacted to him as usual. Boy, he plays with such spirit. Even though he wasn't as effective as he's been in other games for the Celtics, he plays with that consistent enthusiasm, and it's so contagious to his teammates.
92-78, Atlanta trying to tiptoe back into this thing. Since the altercation, it's been all Atlanta, but they've got a long way to come back. Spud Webb. Oh, my goodness, that was a hook shot, folks. Webb has 8. It's a 12-point game. It was 18 and would have been 20, but for the fight, they've got Ainge out of the game. was a terrible fight. I don't know if fight is the word for it. Altercation. Six on the shot clock. Wedman, it won't go, and the rebound by Hastings. Atlanta can move to within 10. If they can get out of here 10 down at the end of 3, they'll be in good shape, but that won't help. Dominique still can't get it going for Atlanta. That was deflected out of bounds by Spud Webb, who's playing, and I don't mean to be sarcastic, playing very big here, and he really is.
Whitman's had problems delivering bounce passes to the big men.
Seasting is tripped by Hastings.
Very important when you're having trouble passing the ball to do something different. A couple of bad things happen. Do something different. And that one thing is a fake. Fake before you pass.
Seasting shoots a couple. Boy, Boston has been awful at the foul line here in the third quarter. They've missed 5 free throws in this period. Now make it 6. Seasting, normally a great free throw shooter. Atlanta's knocking on the door. They can move to within 10 if they convert here. Webb hangs in the air. Great shot. Woo! 28 seconds left in the quarter. Bird is checked baseline. Shoots the jumper. That's a momentum stopper. His first points of the quarter.
The man has answers.
Atlanta can play for the final shot and can move back to within 10. We'll give you the time as it becomes a factor. 10 seconds left. Atlanta has all of it. 5, 4. That's good if it goes. It does not. Parrish the rebound. Almost stolen by Webb, and the quarter is over. So at the end of 3, Atlanta has come back a little bit. After 3 quarters, your score. Boston 94, Atlanta 82. What's with Fratello now? Well, we really don't know what happened here, but at the end of the third quarter, Mike Fratello walked to midcourt, and then a big problem broke out. A fan apparently threw some ice, or somebody threw a cup or something at Fratello.
Guy with the white shirt on the right.
Who I do not know. I don't know if he's a fan or a writer or a Celtic official. You can see that Fratello is dripping wet.
And he's way out of position from the coaching bench.
Next time out, we'll try to get Earl Strom or Billy Oakes over here and find out exactly what happened and where is Mike? Is he still here? Well, that was an unfortunate incident, and I don't know what it was all about.
It was very confusing to see Mike leave the...
And then his whole team followed him over there, and there was a big melee in the entranceway. Now, where is Fratello?
He's coming out now. Here comes the champ.
Fratello just now getting back out on the floor. He is dripping wet. And now he talks to Dick Bavetta, and he is really hot. Meanwhile, back at the game, Boston has the ball, and Parrish is about to shoot a layup, and he's fouled, and he'll shoot 2.
Fans are being quite obnoxious in Mike Fratello's direction, I must say, Skip. You know, they don't know anything that happened. He's just the opposing coach, you know.
He's a tough little cookie, too. His dad was a Golden Gloves champion, and Michael could handle his dukes pretty good, too. Parrish shoots 2. He's had an awful time at the line. He makes that one. We don't know what happened. We're still going to try to find out. Parrish has 5. Boston by 14, 96-82.
We're going to get a description from our hustling statistician in a moment, Skip.
The great Jim Stamos will bring us up to date. Dominique Wilkins. Spud Webb has had a big second half, and he keeps it going. Boy, he's a good player. 12-point game again. Danny Ainge has been ejected here. Parrish. He's been very quiet all night, and he has the Celtics' first 4 points. Here comes Webb in a hurry, as he always is. Whitman gives it up nicely to Livingston. He's in the lane for a while. It won't go. Look at Parrish. He is playing His best ball of the night here early in the final period.
Boy, did McHale play Livingston perfectly.
Dennis Johnson had a little too much mustard on that one for Kevin McHale. Johnson says my fault. McHale says my fault. That's unselfishness. End of 3. Houston is bombing Denver 88-71. Foul Seasting prior to the shot.
Well, Seasting did the right thing. Came in from the weak side to offer help.
Dominique will inbound for Atlanta. What a frustrating night for him. There's Wilkins breaking away and shooting a layup. It's not over. 98-86 Boston. But here comes Larry Bird. Parrish against the smaller man, Cliff Livingston. Good again. He's got 9-6 already in this quarter, and we've played less than 2 minutes. There goes Spud for Scott Hastings. Oh, the little guy is tough. And so is Hastings. He's played very well for Atlanta. Lorenzo Charles about to get into the game for Atlanta. There's Parrish.
Well, you give McHale double protection, and then another big truck comes rolling down the middle as Parrish did.
Whitman. Both teams filling it up right now. Randy with 18. 102.90, 9.5 minutes left. Rick Carlisle and Larry Bird and Lorenzo Charles all about to get into this game. Parrish is red hot. Nothing's changed. He has 13, 10 in the quarter in 3 minutes of play. Less than 3 minutes of play. 104.90. Webb answers again.
You just don't want to come up and guard him close because he'll explode on you. So he's coming up with the right answers with that jump shot.
Boston calls a 20-second timeout. Well, there was a guy, somebody at the press table apparently got on Mike Fratello, and he told the guy to zip it up, and somebody else said shut up and threw a beer at Fratello, and then the melee started. Well, if Mike had it to do over again, he probably wouldn't respond. By the same token, if you're at the press table, you're supposed to be covering the game, not running your mouth, eh? Unless, of course, you're an announcer.
I would think that someone seated at a press table who made the judgment to throw a beer, if that was the case now, we're not 100%.
No, that was supposed to be a season ticket holder. I don't know.
Yeah, but I can't assume someone at the press table would have done that, or that would be their last visit there.
Larry Bird is back in the game. Hastings and McHale. Look at Hastings shoving McHale. It's playoff basketball. It's very physical. McHale can't answer it, and Rollins, who's back in the game with a rebound. Watch Spud Webb. Good pass. Wilkins.
Oh!
That's 18 for Wilkins. He has 2 baskets here in the final quarter. It's a 10-point game again.
Spud Webb has had a major effect.
Oh, he's been a catalyst. Hastings all over McHale. Fumbled away by Dennis Johnson. He has to throw up a prayer. And Atlanta will head the other way. They can move to within 8. Wilkins. He just can't get going. Look at Spud Webb hustle and save that. He goes tumbling into the crowd. I hope he's all right. He's a tough guy, folks. And listen to the hand Spud Webb gets from the partisan Boston crowd. That was our camera that met up with Spud Webb. Kevin Willis back into the game for Atlanta. And Boston wants a timeout here, and the Atlanta Hawks are still hanging tough. 8:05 left in our game. Timeout on the floor. Atlanta has not led since the first 2 minutes. They trail by 10. 8:05 left.
A burner going in Milwaukee. Charles Barkley on the fast break. 2 of his 25 points. 99-97 Bucks in the 4th. Back to Boston.
It's a 10-point game. Here's life on the Wild side for Spud Webb and for our cameraman Peter Dingle. Peter meets Spud and vice versa. Everybody's all right. And play resumes. Boston by 10. 8 minutes left.
Boston has to reach down now and do it over again to put out this Hawks flame.
Oh, there's a break for Atlanta. Robert Parrish was all by himself. Pass hit him right in the hands. Atlanta's coming a little bit, but they're down by 10 against a great Boston team. Whitman tries to change that. Got it and drew the foul from Dennis Johnson. Atlanta's in the game, folks.
Second time tonight, Whitman got an amazing break on a shot that looked like it was not going to fall in. Dominique getting a little break, and now Mike Fratello said, Dominique, it's enough for you. Back in the game.
While Dominique checks in, we can remind you that this program is authorized under rights granted by the NBA solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the NBA is prohibited. Whitman makes it a 7-point game. This is as close as Atlanta has been since the first half.
This will not be a coast victory for Boston. They got to flex their muscles again.
It may not be a victory for Boston. That is to be determined. Parrish has been hot. Not anymore. In and out. Rollins is double teamed, but gets it away, and here comes the guy who's making it happen for Atlanta. Bingo. Kevin Willis.
Dominique gave the ball up, though. He was under pressure by McHale, but he didn't force the issue.
It's a 5-point game. Deflected away. It belongs to Boston. Roger Clemens struck out 20 men tonight. New Major League Baseball record. How about that? Dennis Johnson tipped up and in by Bird. There he is. Spud Webb head of the circle. Bird got a piece of it. He's mad at himself that he didn't keep it inbound. 106.99, 6:41 left. No matter what happens tonight, Atlanta's got to feel much better about this than they did about their Sunday effort.
Credit the man with the ball right now for turning this thing around. Spud Webb. Whitman,
great pass. Foul Bird. Saved a certain basket. Rollins will shoot 2. 3 fouls on Bird. When Scott Hastings came in the game and got in that altercation with Ainge, it was an 18-point game. Boston scored a basket that would have made it 20. That was disallowed, and it's really been all Atlanta ever since. Rollins, not a gifted free throw shooter, but he makes the first. He has 3 points. The veteran bangs them both in there. It's a 5-point game again. 6.5 minutes left. Boston, of course, has been in these spots before. Carlisle handles the ball. 8 on the shot clock. Bird. Webb knocked that out of bounds. 5 on the shot clock as they inbound. Boy, Spud is having some game.
Spud.
4 on the shot clock. 3, 2. Dennis Johnson fades away. It won't go. Atlanta can move to within 3. If this guy gets hot, Willis misses. Big battle. Dennis Johnson wins it. Less than 6 minutes.
So difficult for the Hawks when Willis and Dominique are outside.
McHale keeps it alive. He drew the foul. As he missed, he'll shoot 2. If it's on Willis, it'll be 5. No, it's on Rollins.
Rollins felt he was run into.
4th foul on Rollins. 2nd team foul. 5:44 left. John Andres, Skip Carey with you from the Boston Garden.
Skip, you realize how long it's been since we've heard from Larry Bird offensively?
Well, he has 1 tip here in the last couple of minutes, but other than that, he's been very quiet. McHale shanked that second one. 107-101 with 5:40 remaining.
Are they coached on double teaming him?
Great pass. Rollins hooks it up and in. Atlanta is down by just 4 with 5:20 left. They were down by 18. 87-69. They have scored 34 points. Bird drew the foul as he missed. 2-shot opportunity. Scott Wedman into the game. Rick Carlisle goes up.
There have been numerous situations when Dominique Wilkins has given the ball up to one of his teammates tonight, and good things have happened. That's the dimension in his game that has come along so far this year.
Bird shoots 2. He's got 27, but only 5 since the break. Doc Rivers has been out for a while. He's about to get back in. Spud Webb goes out, but maybe not for long. Boy, he's tired, but he has played great. In fact, without him, Atlanta would be, I think, totally out of this game.
No question. And the sprinkling of fans here acknowledge that.
Bird puts them both down. And Doc Rivers heads up the floor for Atlanta. A lot of time left. 5 minutes. It's a 6-point Boston game. Whitman, foul line. Shot an air ball, but there's Kevin Willis and a foul. They can move to within 3.
Great hustle by Willis.
First foul on Parrish.
You want your big men to keep going to the boards. That should be a kind of shot that Willis might figure he wouldn't miss, but he keeps working around the hoop and good things happen.
Boston by 3. Willis has 23. Atlanta's in this game really without much of anything from Dominique Wilkins.
Yeah, you know they have to feel they're capable of a much better display of basketball than we've seen tonight.
Dennis Johnson posts up, whistle. Technical foul, illegal defense against Atlanta.
Technical foul, Atlanta.
The PA man says technical foul Atlanta, but he's wrong. Unless there's been a big trade and Larry Bird is now with the Hawks. All of a sudden, things are not going the way things normally go for the Celtics in this building. Remember, they've only lost once here all year. They're still winning by 3, but momentum has been headed the other direction for the last 10 minutes or so. Bird on the run, nowhere near. Rebound Willis from Parrish. Atlanta can move to within 1. Rivers almost walked. And he almost walked again.
Calling out a play now. They want some structure here. Don't freelance everything.
They want to hit Kevin Willis, and they do. Nowhere near. Rebound stolen by Doc Rivers. He got it.
Spectacular.
Atlanta just keeps coming here. It's a 1-point game with 3:57 left. Remember, it was 87-69 Boston. But the Celtics have been through it before. Let's see what happened. Bird against Wilkins, and to his credit, he's working as hard as he can on defense. Parrish missed the layup. Bird.
Oh, what a pass by Bird.
And again, Bird could have conceded that to Parrish, but he stayed right there and cashed it in. 3-point game. Wedman with the interception.
The fight over picks if you play for the Celtics.
Out of bounds, goes right back to Atlanta as Boston tried to force the action.
McHale blames himself.
Timeout is called by Atlanta. Folks, stay with us. We are headed toward, it would appear, quite a finish. 3:13 left. Boston by 3. Atlanta with the ball.
NBA basketball, America's game. Brought to you in part by Honda Automobiles.
Play resumes here. Atlanta can move to within a point. We have 3:08 left in the game. Doc Rivers. Dominique. Knocked away by Wedman, his second successive steal. Dennis Johnson. Nope. 3 Rollins. Big Atlanta rebound. Boston can't throw it in the ocean here lately. Willis double team. Gets the jumper up. It's short. Bird there for the rebound.
The double teaming defense by the Celtics is so effective. The Hawks are not moving the ball out of that traffic, though, enough.
Wilkins and Bird get all tangled up with one another. Larry. 32 for Bird, 8 in the quarter. It's a 5-point lead, but an eternity left in the game, 2:15. That doesn't sound like much if you're new to the NBA, but believe me, it is in this league. Dominique, great pass, great block, Robert Parrish. There'll be a foul on Rivers, shoving him out of bounds.
At the highest level of the NBA, the difference in the winning teams is defense. Robert Parrish there with a great block. And the last 3 times down, the Hawks have been unable to get a decent shot off, much less in.
You see the time remaining. Bird off balance, impossible. Timeout called by Atlanta. That shot was absolutely impossible.
Brilliant.
7-point game, 1:41 remaining. Does Atlanta have anything left? We'll see when we come back. Atlanta inbounds as play resumes. 1:35 left in the game. Dennis Johnson knocked it loose. Rivers walked. I think he did. That's 3 straight times down. Atlanta has been unable to get a shot away.
19 turnovers for the Hawks, which have turned into 24 points for the Celtics. Celtics have 10 turnovers. The Hawks only 10 points.
Larry Bird directing traffic. Wants it in the right box. Fades away. Finds Parrish. Boy, are they good.
What a machine.
12 in the final quarter for Parrish. 15 in the game. 117-108. Whitman for 3. In and out. Tough break for him. And Boston is in business. 55 seconds right now remaining in the game. Johnson and Rivers bang away at one another. That's knocked away, intended for Bird. It's on the deck. Dennis Johnson goes to the floor. Boston has it back. It's history. Atlanta has fought gallantly, but Boston wins again. They go to Atlanta for game 3 Friday night. You see the time remaining, 10 on the shot clock. Dominique Wilkins said it earlier. When you look into the eyes of Larry Bird, you look into the eyes of an assassin. And late in the game, he and Parrish have been the assassins of the Atlanta Hawks' dreams. We'll be back right after this.
For Dennis Johnson, near side, Ainge underneath the tail. Off it comes to Mahorn, up to Isaiah, way up to Dumars, back to the trailer, early jam. And to Bernard Thompson, nice pass, shot too hard off the glass. Rebound Byron Scott, the Magic Johnson in the lane, goes to Worthy, back to Magic, down to Kareem, they stuff it.
America's game.
Well, 15 points ago, I happened to mention I thought Bird was quiet. Well, he scored 12 of the last 15 Celtics points.
Houston goes up 2-0, as you see, over Denver.
You know, Larry Bird, after that series with the Chicago Bulls, I guess for the umpteenth time, said that he thought Michael Jordan was the best player he's ever seen. And to see Larry Bird perform here tonight, I think Michael Jordan might turn around and say, I know who the greatest player I've ever seen is.
Atlanta inbounds, and they are, of course, desperate. 119-108. Dominique just had one of those nights. That's 2 in a row for him. He's got to shake out of it, or Atlanta's going to be history. They had a chance in this game, but then there was too much Larry Bird. 10 seconds left. Well, you see the time remaining. What can little Spud do here? Nothing except head for the locker room. Your final, Boston 119, Atlanta 108. Boston takes a 2-0 lead in the series. Game 5 will be in Atlanta on Friday night. We'll be back right after this. Tell the folks who the Miller player of the game is, John.
All right, Skip, our Miller, Light, and Turner Broadcasting most valuable player of the game is Larry Bird. Big numbers tonight, 36, 8, and 7. Miller Life is proud to present a check for $500 to the National Multiple Sclerosis Foundation on behalf of Larry Bird, who made 12 out of the last 15 Celtics points.
119-108, the final in the game. Atlanta had their chances tonight, couldn't get it done, and they'll hope for better things when they get back to the Omni in Atlanta on Friday. They have to feel better about the way they played before the Celtics are good.
Yes, it's very frustrating for Atlanta because they did play well, and they have to know they're capable of much more. And I'm sure when they get down to the Omni, they will be more effective. Dominique Wilkins in particular, I'm sure, will be much more effective. But what a gallant effort and greatness on display by the Celtics at the end when it really counted.
Dwight Gooden will pitch for the New York Mets tomorrow night. You see Braves baseball at 7:35 on WTBS. And following that, from Los Angeles, Rick Barry, Bill Russell will be standing by. And they'll bring you the play-by-play story of Game 2 in the Lakers and Dallas Mavericks series. 119-108, the final score tonight. Our thanks to our director, Mark Goldsmith, our producer, Rohan Backfish. For John Andres from the Boston Garden, Skip Carrick. Have a good night. So long. Fun-loving Boston Celtics slid right into the Eastern Conference Finals, defeating the Atlanta Hawks in 5 games, allowing Larry Bird and company a week to sit back and relax as the Philadelphia 76ers and Milwaukee Bucks